So girls, how you doing? Let's do the pick a card. Today's going to be the action versus the feelings. That could be extremely interesting and triggering. So stay cool. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay, so 2 piles and then we do a major arcana from the soul cards. As you know, I love them very, very much from my friend Lorente. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So pile number 1, the action versus the feelings. 3 of Wands, the Fool, Page of Swords. So I think it's very clear here. They've been watching you, so you're probably in separation, you haven't communicated for a very long time, or very weirdly. But in the meantime, they're very much checking your social media. Maybe you have a YouTube channel, maybe they're checking as well, or rereading the texts you used to send to each other, blah, blah, blah. They may have been acting very defensive, being very defensive with their word in the past, because they could feel something very powerful between you two, and they didn't know how to handle it, which is fair enough. Okay, indeed, that was very strong. They knew from the minute they met you that you were the final destination. They probably were busy somewhere else. That's probably why they didn't allow themselves to move forward with you, but they couldn't help themselves checking on you. They know that even though you are at a distance, maybe geographically, emotionally, maybe an age difference, different education, different background, whatever, it doesn't really matter, does it? You love each other or you don't. Who cares about the context? And actually, if you come together from a different background, it's absolutely fabulous, and I'm loving it. So there is an idea of knowing, so they're feeling very much, they know that they have to move forward, but how to do that? They don't know, but they're going to do it anyway, because they feel that they may have been a fool in the past. They didn't catch the opportunity when they saw you. Maybe they couldn't, as simple as that. There's no big deal about that. But at the same time, they know they need to take the leap of faith. It's dangerous because they want to defend their heart. Maybe on the outside they look like, whoa, don't come near me, but in the inside, please come. You know what I mean? It's just so interesting, right? So you're very stable, you are very much in your power, in the sense of, self-sufficient, you mind your own business, you do your thing, you are grounding yourself, and maybe that's where you need to be. I think the Queen of Pentacles, male, female, doesn't matter. Financially, you may be very grounded and very, self-sufficient, but maybe emotionally you were not so much, and that connection told you a big lesson that you have to be in a relationship with yourself first before you can build a relationship with someone else, right? So you had to be congruent with yourself. You had to be okay to be with yourself, maybe for a long time, and then you can be stable enough, like an oak tree with strong roots, particularly with the storm we're having here, in order to just be, and that's enough. Okay, so maybe you had to go through that process yourself. Okay, it's not just them, right? It goes both ways. Yeah, they definitely feel so much about you. It's insane. When they met you, obviously they were not expecting you, they were focusing on something else, but you came like love at first sight. When they met you, they knew, and now they depressed a bit, down a little bit, questioning themselves. Like they're processing it all, because it was a lot to take in. If it's love at first sight, it's a lot, isn't it? So they're preparing for action as well. Let's not forget, they want a reconciliation. So if they appear cutting with their word, defensive with their word, it's because they, petit à petit, that's French, Axelle, right? And step by step, they're processing in order to be at peace with themselves, and then they can move forward. They really want a reconciliation, but equal give and take here. It's very much the pure love. It's beautiful. It's, for me, it's a more innocent kind of love, and it's spiritual as well. It's everything, the full shebang. Really, I love it. So they're preparing themselves to take a leap of faith and move forward, because they love you. There's no doubt. It was a process they had to go through, and that's understandable. And sometimes it's better to take your time and prepare than to just, go there and then you don't have a clue what you're doing, right? Okay, so let's have a major arcana from the soul cards to wrap it up. Goodness me, this storm out there is ridiculous. Okay, the Fool. Here we go. Second time, right? So we have the Fool twice here. Where is the Fool here? Here we go. Yeah, preparing to take a leap of faith, but also regretting the fact that they didn't meet you maybe before or later or whatever. They feel like, damn, the timing is so but at the same time, timing is perfect. Okay, so it was necessary for both of you to get used to the idea, to work on yourself, and then you can meet again, right? So beautiful, absolutely stunning. So part number 2, the action versus the feelings. The Chariot, King of Wands, the Hierophant, beautiful. So the action or whatever, it was male, female, doesn't matter. The King of Wands is someone very superficial. From the outside, they look very together, very much in control, brilliant at their work, very well put together, very elegant. All of that is perfect, okay? But on the inside, they feel a lot. There's a lot of passion. But I think they came across someone a bit different than usual. And so with you, they need to learn. They need to grow. Maybe they talking with a very close friend or maybe a sibling. They talk about this connection, how they're a bit, confused by it. And I think you have the approval of the friend or the sibling because that person probably said to them, it's meant to be. You know what I mean? You met that person because you needed to learn about yourself. You needed to learn about a relationship, maybe to reconnect with your truth because you were, maybe superficial. You were dealing with money, dealing with the image what other people were, bring back to you. But at the same time, what was the truth? What was the reality here? So you had to learn about yourself. You had to grow as a person. And I think vice versa. Both of you needed to grow as a person. And as a result, you come as much more balanced, yin and yang. But you have to be the yin and the yang within. First of all, before you can be in a relationship. You have to have a relationship with yourself and be in a peaceful one in order to be able to build a relationship with someone else properly as well. So for me, there is an ambivalence here with the way they look from the outside and what the work is, which is going on inside. Plus you're meant to be, and they feel like the big boss upstairs, which is, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, is actually pushing you to develop. Yeah, they were stuck and maybe in their way of being, very superficial, blah, 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 all of this. But at the same time, they unstuck. They change their perspective and they now as a turning point because they know they have to move forward. If they wait a little bit too long, that could be a bit dramatic, right? Justice has to be served. Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they're, doing all kind of things. Building the career, all of this is all great. But the balance within, again, this yin and a yang, and also this idea of the Hierophant is an idea of really being at peace with themselves, knowing what they're made of and being real. I'm not saying they were lying, but they were not showing the truth of themselves in the sense of the depth. They were very much there. And now they need to go here. So very interesting for me. I think it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Well, actually, no, one more. What are you doing? Yeah, maybe they met you on a kind of social gathering and it was all kind of cool, all kind of fun and nice and all of this. But maybe they want to reconnect with you. Maybe they're hoping to bump into you another gathering, but as well they want to share a lightness of exchange, talking to each other, just nice and easy, something like this. Why do I continue? Yeah. Maybe they saw you as a massive attraction, definitely, but there's so much more now they want to share with you, but they want a brand new beginning with a lot of passion. So beautiful. It's definitely an attraction, but so much more as well. Okay, so, and again, there's nothing wrong with attraction. It's quite often telling you what you need to know, right? Okay, so a major arcana from the soul card. Let's have a look. The moon, yeah. They needed to go in depth. They could not stay here. They had to do that work, which require knowledge of themselves, definitely. The moon is about bringing the truth to ourselves. The moon, with the light of the moon, you see within the darkness, you see what you need to see. You see the path, you see the direction, you see your truth. They were maybe aligned to themselves to start with. Then I think they needed to go in depth within themselves, and also for you, to reconnect with the romantic side of the moon. Maybe you kind of push, that idea of, oh yeah, whatever, love is all nice and sweet, but I have all the stuff to do really. And now you have to rebalance the idea of justice as well. It's a combination of what you feel and what you want to be. It's gorgeous. I'm loving it. On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah, ciao.